So guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a new video. As this Saturday it's Manchester United taking on Spurs, and I'm going to preview the game for you guys. So if you do enjoy it, please make sure to smash a like. If you are new to the channel as well and have not subscribed, then what are you guys doing? Please make sure you are subscribed for the new season by hitting that red button in the bottom right corner of today's video. And as always guys, please make sure to comment your thoughts down below, leave your score predictions, and I'll make sure to reply to any of you lot later on today. But anyway guys, let's get on to the preview. So guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So this Saturday, 5:30 p.m. kickoff, the first big away game of the season. It's Manchester United taking on Spurs. And usually for these type of games, I'm really confident going into it, really excited about it. It's going to be 3 points on Saturday, but this time around going into it, I'm not getting the same feeling. And I know I'm basing it off one game and that performance on Monday, and you can't take too much from the opening game of the season. But when you see that performance, which I said was one of the worst performances I've seen in a very, very long time. It was so unlike these players. It was so unlike a Ten Hag performance. So when you do see that performance after a long period of time, you do get concerned about it because you don't want that to creep back into your game. And there's obviously a reason that performance happened. And what I gained from it is really, we're not ready for the season. We are nowhere near ready for this season to start. It was like the whole pre-season in the USA just did not exist. It was like that first game on Monday was the first time these players have played since the end of last season. It was like these players have not trained a single day. That's how bad we were on the day. And I know we won the game. And that's the crazy part, because I'm sounding like we got battered 3 or 4-0. But we did. We have got 3 points on the board. And that's the main thing. But when you see that after a long time, you do get concerned about it. Because the players as well. Garnacho in that game got his opportunity. Looked so out of his depth. And I know it's the first game. He may improve. But he looked really poor on the day. Anthony as well, just didn't look bothered. Normally, is creating chances. He's having about 8 or 9 shots a game. He had 1 or 2 shots in that game. It wasn't like Anthony. Bruno Fernandes, very, very lazy on the day. Misplacing passes. All his balls were terrible. It was really, really poor. Casemiro, usually one of our best players. And on the day, he probably was okay. But again, looked way off it when he usually does. And what scared me the most was the fitness levels of these players were terrible. In every single department, Wolves was so much better than us. And it was so concerning because this is meant to be a big season for United. And when you start like that, back at Old Trafford as well, a place you were so good at last season, it's very, very concerning. Especially going into a game against Spurs. Because if I was a Spurs player and I watched that game on Monday, I'd be looking at the game on Saturday thinking, we got a real chance of beating United here. Your first game at home under Ange, atmosphere's going to be rocking, United are going to be scared. And unless we improve, because we were at 10% in that Wolves game, and we need to rise up to 100% if we want any chance of beating this Spurs team. And I know they've lost Kane, and we are... would I say your favourites going into the game based off that Monday performance? No, but we would be if we had a good performance on that day. So it's a very difficult game to really predict. I'm not too sure what's going to happen. The only thing which has given me some positivity is that when Ten Hag sees a performance like that, he doesn't let it go. He demands these players to turn it around in the next game. He demands a performance. And this game could be a good game for that, because going to a Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, a big team, you've got a lot of pressure going into you now. So it's very difficult to see what's going to happen. But that's the only thing that's given me a bit of positivity. But yeah, unless we improve massively, we could be in trouble because we gave Wolves so many chances. And that's also something which really, really scared me. Because if we give Spurs 23 chances in that game on Saturday, they are going to score goals. Easy as that. They will score goals and they will batter us. So we could be on the end of another battering this Saturday if we don't improve. So yeah, it was just not the first game you wanted. I know we've got 3 points on the board, and that's the main thing really, isn't it? So yeah, any win you'll take, especially like that when we played really poorly. And it is a sign of a good team. When you're getting battered, you still find a way to win. And maybe the positives from that game is that we dug deep, we found that goal, we created that chance to score that goal. So it is what it is, isn't it? 3 points on the board, we'll take it. But there's so many things to be concerned about. But it is only the first game of the season. But team news, guys, this is going to be very, very tricky. Because Ten Hag, he could go with the same team. He really could, because Ten Hag doesn't really like switching up his teams too much. When he puts a team out, he wants that team to be there for 90% of the season. But with that performance, McTominay, could that be a shout? Could Jadon Sancho start this game as a false 9, which worked in pre-season? Because Rashford Didn't look good last week. I mean, probably better. He is better on the left wing, so maybe he can do that this Saturday, especially to get at this Spurs team. But talking about teams and players, let me put my team on the screen now. So, guys, here's my team for the game. So I have gone Andre and Nana in goal, the back four, Shaw, Varane, Martinez, and Wan-Bissaka, and I have kept the midfield the same. So Bruno, Mount, and Casemiro do play for me, especially with a game against Spurs. You need your better players on the field, and those three are definitely our best midfield at the moment. I know they were terrible on Monday, and Casemiro got exposed so many times because Mount and Bruno were flying forward, leaving Casemiro exposed, and the midfield gap was so big. Every single Wolves attack was coming through it. So it's a concern, but I do think that Ten Hag will definitely have something planned for this game. Maybe playing Mount closer to Casemiro to help him out a bit and allowing Bruno to play more forward on his own. So it'll be interesting to see what he does, but I know for sure that he's not going to allow that to happen again. But in the front three, I've gone Marcus Rashford, Antony, and Jadon Sancho playing the false nine position, which we did so many times in pre-season. And on Monday, the attack just did not work. Playing Rashford through the middle, it's not his best position. Garnacho was very poor as well. Antony wasn't at his best, but he will definitely be preferred as well. So I have gone Antony, Sancho, and Rashford. And I think that link-up play in pre-season, which we were seeing between Sancho and the left wingers and right wingers, were really good, really promising. He looked sharp as well. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what he does, but that's why I've chosen for this game. Let me know your thoughts down below, and let's get back to the preview. So guys, what's going on? So that's my team going into it. Let me know your thoughts down below. As you can see, I made one change from the team on Monday. That's Jadon Sancho starting the game in false nine. I was debating whether to make a few more changes, maybe get Christian Eriksen involved against his former side. But then I realised that Ten Hag is not the manager to make a bundle of changes in one go. Even after a bad performance like Monday, he will trust in his players, he will demand a performance, and what better place to go to than the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium to put up that performance and walk out with 3 points. So I don't think there'd be too many changes. He will trust in that team on Monday to turn it around and correct what happened, and hopefully Jadon Sancho can make an impact, because I do think it may be his last chance this season at Manchester United to prove himself. So hopefully he does take these opportunities, but I'm looking forward to it. But that's the team news, guys. But let's talk about Spurs, because this is a new Spurs team. This is the Angira we're talking about now. No more Antonio Conte, no more Harry Kane, and that's the biggest talking point regarding Spurs this season. A new captain in Son, new signings, James Maddison. They've got that Udogie guy from Udinese playing now. Basuma's back in the squad, and the first game ended 2-2 against Brentford, so not off to the worst start. Going away to Brentford is always quite difficult. We found that out quite a few times as well, so it's not the worst result. This will be Ange's first game at home as well. And, you know, the dangerous players in that side, we know Heung-min Son's always dangerous. James Maddison, for me, is a very, very smart signing from Spurs. Not many players were going for him, to be fair. And I was surprised because James Maddison is a very, very top player, and Spurs have got a really good player on their hands now. And I think, I may be wrong, but I think he's got 2 assists already, and he got both assists for 2 of the goals against Brentford. So he's already making an impact in that Spurs team. But other than that, I do think one thing, with Spurs, they could have a season like Chelsea. They could finish very low in the table, or they could surprise so many people. That's the unknown at the moment. But for me, I don't think Spurs will score enough goals. They don't have a prolific striker. Richarlison is going to have a massive season if they're going to finish high up this season. So it's all a bit unknown, but it's not the worst start. They're playing better football. They look quite good against Brentford. So it's going to be very, very difficult on Saturday to get a result against this side. As I've said previously, our performance against Wolves was 10%. To beat this Spurs side with our first game at home under a new manager, the place is going to be rocking. We're going to have to rise that to 100%. That's how good we're going to have to be on Saturday if we want to get a positive result. But my score prediction for the game, it's a tricky one because we could go and beat Spurs quite easily. We are favourites going into it, I think, even after that terrible, terrible performance on Monday. We are probably favourites, but it's just the unknown with Spurs at the moment, which is doing me in, and because I don't know how they're going to play against us. I don't know how they're going to perform. So I'm going to go 2-2 again, like last season. It's always entertaining, these two, when they play each other. never a dull moment. You know, the 6-1 when they beat us, the hat-trick from Ronaldo, so many good moments between these two sides. Even last season's game, 2-2, was a really good game. So yeah, I'm going to go 2-2. I'm going to go Bruno and Rashford to score for us. And I'm going to go Son to get 2 for Spurs as well. But I think the midfield battle is going to be key. That's where the game is going to be won, because it's shown on Monday how bad our midfield was. And unless that proves, we could give Spurs 23 chances like we did against Wolves. And if we give them 23 chances, we could be screwed. So that's also something we've got to work out. Our away form as well against the top 6 last season was terrible, and that has to improve. So there's so many factors and unknown things going into the game, and that's what makes it exciting for me. And that's what I'm looking forward to it so much. I'm always excited for these games, so I'm going to go 2-2. So let me know your thoughts down below, guys. Are you confident going into the game? Based off that performance, it wasn't really encouraging, but we normally do well against Spurs, especially at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where we have not lost yet. So that's also a stat which could play in our hands. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. If you did enjoy, please make sure to smash a like. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel as well. Leave a comment, share the video, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.